Welcome to Where There's Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your Make a Bucksy casual gamer.
I'm Stacey. I'm your non-gamer gamer.
And we are here today to bring you an initial impressions of a game coming to Kickstarter on March 4th called Companion Quest, brought to us by Ghostfire Games, designed by Mark McIntyre, plays 1 to 4 player in 20 to 30 minutes.
Companion Quest is a cooperative strategy game where you are rolling dice, building tableaus, and creating powerful combos. And this is easy to learn, it's easy to play, and it's adjustable for all ages and difficulty levels.
In Companion Quest, you will play as one of 6 gnomes, and you are trying to chase down the mischievous creature Gugu, who is opening portals across the land, trying to cause no good. Along with your companion and wild companions that you will recruit, you will use those abilities and those powers together to make those big combos in order to catch him and stop him before the day is over. So the theme of chasing down Gugu and using your powers, I think, comes across really well in this game. You have a little gnome. We'll get down to the table in just a minute, but you have a little gnome that you are chasing across some spaces. He is causing some problems that you will have to solve during the game. So I think the theme of this is really good.
Um, it's a is it a family of gnomes?
I think it is a family of gnomes.
A family of gnomes.
Yep.
So you can't go wrong with the theme of a family of gnomes, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's 6 different gnomes that we'll get into here in a little bit, and you're doing different quests, which I think come out really well as well. So I think the theme of this, of the gnomes chasing down this mischievous creature, but he's causing this mischief and trying to stop you along the way. You got to do some extra stuff in order to stop him. I think comes across really well. All right, we're down at the table now, and you can see kind of everything that's here. We have a very small and compact game board. We have 6 different colored dice. You have just a couple little cutouts, little meeple things. You have a gnome hat, a gnome mover, and then this is Gugu, your mischievous creature that you're trying to get away with. Reminds me a little bit of a gremlin, for those of you that know
from
that
the
movie.
80s.
Yeah.
And the parts are little wooden pieces.
Yeah.
I believe that's how they will come with the
Yes, this is a prototype copy of the game, so pieces are subject to change, but the components itself right now are really well done. So this is a prototype copy of the game. And then you have your cookies, which are a nice thickness of cardboard here. So your cookies, your danger token right here. You have your cards for your gnomes as well as their companion and then wild companions. You have your quest deck. You have your problems deck, which is challenges and dangers. We'll talk about that. And then you have your player aid cards. So even for a prototype, this is really well done. Like this right now is as good as some final copies of games that we own. I would be very happy with this. I'm going to be very interested to see what they do to enhance this if they do it all, because I really like this copy for a prototype. These components are really well done. The dice are a nice weight. I like the coloring on the dice.
I like the splatty orange ones. Yep. Those are my favorite.
So, all right. We'll talk about the meaning of all those when we get into that in a little bit. Artwork. All right.
The artwork on this.
The artwork in this is just fabulous.
Very colorful, as you can see by the board up here before Ian covered it up. All of these colors are represented in almost every one of these cards. So it's very colorful. Go ahead and put them back up there. And
here's our gnomes and their starting companion. They're gonna wash out a little bit because they've got some green background, but you can kind of see there's Stibbles and Stibbles Jr. So really beautiful artwork. Yes. I think there's like several artists on this. I looked on the Board Game Geek page. So
oh my gosh,
so just so really great. The characters.
I played as Rabbles and Runt.
And then here's your quests. So you've got 4 different quests. Oh, those are gonna really wash out.
Yeah.
Right now, here, I'll just kind of show you up here. Right now, these are all the same artwork, but we have been informed that in the final copy, even the different number, the quests that are the same number, they're going to be different artwork on each different quest. So the artwork's going to be different on these. Right now, they're just the same. So you get 2 for that. This one I think we can show. You got 2 for level 2. You got 2 for stage 3. Just gonna wash out a little bit. 2 for stage 4. And we'll talk about what those all mean in a while, so you can kind of see that. Then we got the dangers.
Here's the dangers.
So here's some of the problems. So these are the dangers.
And those will be mixed in.
Yeah.
Depending on how many players there are.
Talk about what do you think? I mean, these.
I absolutely. Oh my god, slimy snail. He looks a little irritated.
A heavily armored mouse. All right. Gummy ooze. The great white. So it looks like maybe with all the different artists that maybe somebody did like the gnome cards and the companions, because that looks like a slightly different art style than maybe although Pyro looks a lot like the Great Burning.
Yeah, it does.
So I don't know. They definitely have some different art styles, but they really go well together. So you can see, you can just quickly show some of these other. These are wild companions, which we'll talk about, that you can get during the game. So here's just a few more, but just absolutely beautiful. You know,
Some
gorgeous
of them are
artwork.
really washed out. But...
Yeah, gorgeous artwork. We'll see them a little bit more on the table here in front of us. And then these are the.
I just noticed there's a hazard in there.
There's a danger in there. There we go. I'll take that.
Out.
And then so you have your dangers, which we'll talk about, and then these are just your problems. So these are all challenge cards. So then you have some different problems. You'll see there's some spaces there that you.
And there are some that are educational in there for the problem cards. So as some of you who watch our channel know, I do like a good educational game. So this would be good for the younger ages as well.
Yeah, look, you got a math problem.
You got a math problem.
So you got to figure out the math. You know, some of them you got to go least to greatest. Some you need to have all equal. So that's nice. So yeah, beautiful art. The just the cards and stuff. We just absolutely. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with the quests and having different quests or different designs for the same level quest for the quests. All right, to set up the game, put out your game board. You put your 6 different colored dice in their appropriate region. Each one is a different space on the board. So you can see, like this one, you got like some apple trees. This one, the yellow, you got some flowers. Blue, you got the waterfall. You want to, kind of like a space.
Is the portal color, I guess. Yeah. This is the volcano. I love those ones. Those are my favorite dice I've ever seen. And then green is the trees.
Yeah, it looks like trees.
Is that right?
Looks like just trees, yep. So each one of those has a different area. You put your gnome marker on the house. You put Gugu's marker here. You're going to take the quest and you're going to choose one from each stage. So you can see, let me show one that's not going to wash out. You can see there is a Roman numeral 2. So there's 4 different stages. So you're going to take one from each stage. You place them with stage 1 or quest 1 there. You take your white gnome hat and you put it on the gnome spot here at where that starts. And then you take, in a normal game, you're going to take 2 of the dangers randomly and 10 of the challenges randomly. You're going to mix them together. You're going to place 4 on each one of these. There will always be 12 challenges, but depending on difficulty level, depends on the number of dangers versus the number of just challenges of problems that you have. So in a normal game, you have 2 challenges. In an easy game, or you have 2 dangers. In an easy game, you have 1 danger. In a in a hard game, I think it's called, you have 2 or 3, and then in a difficult game or whatever it is, you have 4 dangers in there. But there will always be 12 total challenges or problems in here. So these are the challenge cards. The danger cards say danger on them. With the danger cards, when they come up, we'll talk about that, but you do something on the board. So you set up your challenges. Then each person, so you set up your wild companions by just taking 4 of them and putting them face up. Then each person gets a gnome. Just take the top ones here. And their starter companion.
Which their starter companion is listed down below where the gnome is.
Yep.
So you know who they go with. You
can see who they go with. And on the back side, you can see it as well. Okay. And then each person gets a snack token and a player aid card. With 2 of us, we can each get 2 player aid cards. And that's the setup. So the setup for this game is fairly easy. And then you put this little danger token over to the side, just so it's out of the way. Okay. So there's the setup. Pretty quick and easy setup for this game.
Yep.
Gameplay. Now I'm just going to quickly run down basic gameplay. During the game, you're going to be rolling dice depending on how many point values you have for dice. All the dice on this side are 2 point values. All the dice on this side are 1. So you could do 1 of those and 1 of these, or 3 of these in the first quest. You roll the dice. Then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be placing dice on here. As you place dice on here, you stop Gugu. Every time you don't clear a challenge, Gugu moves ahead 1 space. If you clear 1 challenge, he doesn't move at all. If you clear 2 challenges, he actually moves backwards because he gets confused. So there's 3 different things at the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, so you're going to roll your dice, you're going to place them out, and then you're going to move Gugu, or you can move along the quest. So on the quest here, you'll see there's some different spaces. This one says a purple odd, an orange even, a green odd. So you need to roll those dice and use them in order to move along this track to the end. So during your turn, you, like I said, you roll the dice, then you place dice on quests or challenges and dangers, and then you ready and rest your companions and spend snacks. So your companion has some abilities. So if I look at Arlo here, who I have with Bubbles, Arlo allows me to subtract 1 from a dice or flip a die. So that really helps with this. And then you can spend a cookie to gain an extra companion that you can use. Bubbles here, 1 per game, he has an ability where I can give another gnome a 2-cost die. So, like I said, you roll your dice, you place them out either on the quest or in the challenges, and then you can gain more things here. If you use your companion, he has to rest. You get him back, so you notice Arlo has a blue dice. So if I were to take a blue dice on my turn, and I were to use it for anything, either up here in the quest, or I were to place it in the challenges here, or the problems here, he now gets refreshed because I've played a blue dice. So you get to refresh your characters here when you play a dice. Your cookies can also when you place a dice anywhere here. You may also use your snack tokens to gain an extra die on your roll, or to ready a companion. So let's say I don't have a blue dice, but I need to use Arlo. I can use this to ready him so that he's out of rest. And then you, when you're done, you adjust the mischief meter. Like I said, if you did not clear any of the challenges or any of the problems, Gugu moves ahead 1 space. If you cleared 1, he doesn't move at all. If you clear 2 of them at once, he moves backwards, which is very important because you need to catch him before he gets here. That is not very far. Then the other part of this is if you reach the end of a quest, you would flip this over. You would see if you get to move ahead 1 space. So if you caught up to Gugu, the game is over. If he's still ahead of you, you keep on going. You discover new companions. The 4 companions here would go away. You put 4 new ones down, and you follow the directions here. So you see in a 1 and a 2 player game with this, you would get an extra companion, and you would get another cookie to use. And now, if you notice, during quest 2, you have 4 points of value. to use. Your gnome hat goes at the start of the next one. Every time you get a quest, you complete a quest, you move forward or you flip this over. Notice when you're in quest 3, you have 5 value, which comes in very handy when you're trying to catch Gugu late on. So that is the basics. You win if you catch Gugu. And if you were like one space away and you were to clear off 2 of these and Gugu has to move backwards, that is also a win because to win the game, you simply need to be on the same space as Gugu before he gets. If he gets all the way here, though, you lose. All right. Replayability.
The replayability on this, I think, is absolutely amazing because you do have a lot of the companion cards that you can go through, and you're not going to go through, I don't believe you're going to go through that whole deck.
Not in a two-player.
In a two-player game.
I'm not even sure in a 4-player.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So depending on what characters you originally start out with and their companion, it could be different because each one has a different power.
Yeah.
And each one of the companions that you draw could have a different power as well. Sometimes you can re-roll, sometimes you can flip a dice, sometimes you can add, subtract. So I think the replayability on this is very good. You're not gonna ever play the same game unless you're not gonna remember having the exact. You'd have to have the cards in the exact same order.
There's so many things here.
Yeah.
So you've got your 6 different gnomes with their starter companions. Right there, in just a 2-player game, there's so many different combinations here you can have of these gnomes. Then you have your quest cards, and you have 2 quest cards for each stage of the quest. There's 4 stages of the quest. So you're going to just take 2 of these, 1 from each one. So the fact that you have 2 of these for each stage, that changes the quests you're doing and the way you're doing things and the dice you need. Then you have your problems. Well, you have a stack. This stack is all danger cards. You put 2 of them in a normal game. This stack is all the challenge cards. You put 10 of them in a normal game. So you figure you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9? 9 dangers? Seems like a weird number.
10, I think.
Yeah, we must
have 2 in here.
Well, I've only got 7 there.
Oh.
But you've got a big set. Maybe there's another one in there. You've got a big stack of dangers. You've got a big stack of challenges, and just the combinations you can get from those gives you a lot of replayability. And like Stacey said, the number of wild companions and the way that they come out, it gives you a lot of replayability. So when you look at each one of the individual components, the problems, the companion deck, the gnomes, and the quest, each one of those alone has a wide bit of variability. So you put all those together, and the replayability is greatness. And then the fact that you can change the difficulty level. You can have one of the dangers. You can have multiple dangers. And that reminds me, I just remembered. So the danger cards.
Oh, yeah.
When a danger comes up, you have to put this on the board. You have to put this on your quest. You can't do anything on your quest until you actually clear the danger card. So I did forget that. So you have to actually clear the danger card before you can do anything on your quest. So that's one thing. So yeah. So the replayability in this game is phenomenal. And just playing with different gnomes, we played with a couple different ones, and just like, okay, wait, let's play with these ones to see what their powers do stuff.
And the replayability in such a small box, that's amazing. That right there, you don't usually see a whole lot. I don't know. I'm not a professional.
No, I agree.
The little box that it comes in with so many different choices, it's great. It's easy to set up. That's the bonus.
Yeah, this will be a weeknight game for us.
We call it a weeknight game
because it is quick to play, quick to set up. Yeah, like Stacey said, just the variability in each one of the things makes it more replayable because you do have so many different things that you can do and so many different things that will come up and like I said, you can change the difficulty. Like, oh, you know what? We've got him quite a few times here, and let's try it on a more difficult level. So I really like it. It's going to have a lot of replayability. That's
Oh,
for sure.
definitely.
I'm very interested when it comes to Kickstarter to see what else they add
Mm-hmm.
because I'm sure there'll be some things that some stretch goals that they add. So that'll be exciting. On to our final thoughts. Let's go back to big. Final thoughts.
You go first.
Um, I really enjoy this game. Once we started playing it correctly, the rulebook had a couple things in there that we read and we thought we were playing it right, but then we watched a little playthrough a little tutorial that they had sent out to reviewers, and we realized that we had missed something. The wording in it to us made sense the way we were playing it, um, and but once we couldn't figure it out. Like the first couple of games were like I don't get we're missing something here, and then we realized what we were missing, and that was the fact that you refresh your companions when you place a dice up here. You don't place a dice. You don't play a dice to refresh it on your card. So like this card would need a red dice. This card would need a red dice. So we were playing that dice there, so we were wasting turns. Once we figured that out and we played again, man, we love it. This game is so much fun. It is so different from anything we have.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing. We don't have a lot of cooperative games. Maybe we should look into more.
Yeah.
And so being able to like, okay, what's my ability? Like one of my abilities was, I had Nobbles, and he can give another gnome a companion from the wilds. Well, I was like, well, companions are powerful. Why would I not use that like immediately to give Stacey two companions she can use for the entire game? So and another, some of the other ones, you just the discussion of like, okay, is this a good time to use my companion or my ability for my gnome, because you only get to use that once. Once you do, you flip them over. That's why the other side, I think this is still, no. Okay. You flip them over and you see it's no longer showing. Now it's just showing him. So figure out when to use that the best. I love it. I love the quests. I love the dice. I love I just love looking at the art too as we're playing. So I really enjoy this game, and the puzzle of trying to figure out when to do the problems and when to move on the quest and when to be okay with Gugu moving a step forward versus okay, we need to set up some of these. We can let him move a step forward this time. We're going to complete the quest, so we know we're going to get closer. But we also need to set up two cards so that the next person can hopefully move him a step backwards. So yeah, all of that is great. I really like it.
For me, I really like this game as well. I like the communication that you have to have. If you don't communicate, because it is companion quest, so you do have to work together to get through everything that you need to do. So the communication is great. The cards are very easy to understand, which is sometimes a problem for me of trying to figure out what the card is trying to tell me to do. The cards are easy to understand. The artwork makes it just lovable and playable. Like Ian said, the dice are great. I have a hard time deciphering between the yellow and the orange dice, but it is what it is. The only thing that I would recommend is this. I don't know if there's a way to make this compatible for people who have color blindness. I'm not sure. I guess with where they are placed on the board would help with
The
that.
dice might be a
might
problem,
cause an
but
issue.
I don't know how they would fix.
I don't know. I don't know. But other than that, I really enjoyed this game. I look forward to seeing what they do come out with for the final game. Check it out on Kickstarter. That's all I have to say when it comes out.
We'll link the the pre-launch page in the description below. So yeah, this one gets 2 thumbs up from me.
Me too. Right. And when is it launching? March 2nd?
March 4th.
March 4th.
March 4th.
On Kickstarter.
March 4th on Kickstarter. If you like this video and want to see more, please hit that subscribe button above. And if you want to see the rest of our initial impressions, follow that link. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian.
I'm Stacey.
And we'll see you next time.
At the table.